Hey y'all, it's Lisa. Welcome to the Purpose Looks Good podcast. Listen, I'm here to help you walk through life and navigate this thing. As we try to walk in purpose, we try to live life, we try to do it. I'm here with my sister, Shanae. Shanae's gonna, I don't want to say her whole government name because she would hate that. So I'm going to let Shanae introduce herself because she's private and I'm not. So I would tell you everything about her, but I'm going to let you tell yourself about that.
All right. I'm Shanae. I'm Lisa's sister.
What do you want to say about yourself?
That's what I want to say about myself.
You don't want to tell them. Okay, see, this is what I'm saying. She's private. I'm going to tell you at least Shanae's profession. Can I tell them that?
That's fine.
Shanae is a middle school math teacher. She is so smart. She has a master's degree. She's everything we all should aspire to be.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Did you know that 9% of the people who have master's degrees are black women?
And you're looking at 2 of the 9%.
9%.
Clock it. Anyway.
Insane. So, for one demographic?
Yeah, I was going to say, we pretty much are it when it comes to black women are it, to clarify. But I wanted to have Shanae on the podcast today because if you're watching this, this is now happening. This is now live. But as we record this, this has just happened in real time. We got to be in a Mastercard campaign, and Mastercard teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer and surprised the Jonas Brothers, which I had no idea. And if you don't know, I've been a fan of the Jonas Brothers since I was literally 12. So many things happened in that time that I was just like, what's going on? But I want Shanae to tell her perspective of, I actually want you to tell, even me telling you about it, what was your perspective? Because they reached out to me, Mastercard reached out to me on Instagram. It's like, hey, we love you sharing your story about your cancer journey. We'd love to have you share it in a campaign we're doing. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I was going for it. And then they were like, oh, you need a +1. I know my family is private. They're private people. So I was like, I'm going to ask them if they want to do it. I didn't know you guys would want to do it. But yeah. Okay. So go ahead.
Okay. So Lisa told me she got the DM from Mastercard on Instagram. And I just remember being like, oh, that's nice. She'll be in the background waving a rose or, something cute like that. And then they asked her for all this information. And I was like, yeah, they want to make sure you're not a psycho.
Yeah.
So that they don't have psychos in their campaign. And then come to find out, they were like, oh, you get to bring somebody with you. And again, our parents, they're not doing the public. They don't even like social media like that.
At all, for real.
So I was like, yeah, I'll do it, whatever. So we found out the dates. And the dates were during our family vacation. And I'll be honest, Lisa, at one point I was like, we got a lot going on with family vacation. Our brother and our niece and nephew coming down. Is it worth it? It was my first week of summer break. So I was like, I want to rest. What are we doing? So we decide we're going to do it. Fine. Great. I knew something was up when they were open to picking us up from whatever location we were at.
Wait, real quick. So because I was actually on a bachelorette trip and then this came up and then we were going to do family vacation, my whole life was stacked like that. And I was like, oh, they wanted to pick us up from the house we live in or that I live in. And I was like, we won't be there. We'll be on vacation. They're like, okay, we'll just change the location. Which I was like,
even further back than that, the fact that they were going to pick us up, I thought, right? Because we've done day trips to New York all the time. We do it all the time.
Right, it was in New York.
So I was like, okay, we're at the beach, right? So I had driven. So I was like, all right, me and Lisa will just drive to the nearest Amtrak station. We'll get on the train. We'll pay for it all ourselves, right? And then we'll just turn in receipts and they'll just reimburse us. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, cute little day trip to NYC. And then they were like, no. We're going to send a car to get you from wherever you're at. And I was like, send a car? An Uber? I think that's what you guys talking about?
That's when it started to hit we are a subject of this campaign. This is one of the subjects. There were 3 other people who were survivors.
But see, I didn't even think that. I just knew they were sending the car to come get us. And in my mind, I was like, oh, a fleeting little thought while we were in the car. I was like, oh, they're going, what if we meet somebody? I was like, okay, whatever. So that morning, right? So we get there the night before, check into the hotel. The next morning, they're like, oh, we're going to meet you guys in the lobby. So again, I'm thinking, oh, we're going to meet like 10, 15 people in the lobby. And we get down there and we're the first ones in the lobby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's 10:15, like on the dot. Like, where is everybody? Like, where is this person we're supposed to meet? Where is everyone? And we meet our point of contact. His name was Sean.
He was
phenomenal
great.
person.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. And he just walked us around the corner. And I was like, where is everybody? So, because I'm thinking, again, like, other people are in this hotel. We're going to make friends. We can go out and get a drink later. It'll be cute, right? It'll be fun. Just me, Sean, and Lisa walking around the corner. Me, Sean, Lisa. Yeah, just two. And then we get there, and it kicks into high gear.
Yeah, immediately when we walk in, they're recording us. And I didn't know this. So, mind you, it was a heat wave in New York at this time. So... we walk in and they're like, all right, come, we're going to have you walk in a second. And I'm thinking like, oh, they're just not ready for me. But I'm like, can we just step inside? Turns out they were setting up a camera shot. My bad. So we had to take it again. That was my fault. But mind you, I'm also sweating bullets. So I was like, Shanae, I need the fan out of my purse.
And we were faces beat.
Yeah.
Melting. But Lisa, I knew they were filming the second we got there.
I had no idea.
I knew.
I didn't clock it. Because also from working in entertainment, I thought they were just setting up another shot that was happening later. I had no idea. So
I saw that man with that camera on his shoulder. I said, oh.
It's happening. And that was Shanae's immediate, oh, wait, we're on camera today. All day.
Because, like, I didn't plan to, like, be in. Like, this is, like, Lisa's thing. Like, not just, like, because of the situation, right? But, like, she enjoys this camera business. She enjoys this sharing of her life business. I barely want y'all to know who I am. So I'm like, oh, Lisa, get in the...
If we did not have the same last name, you would not know Shanae's last name.
You would not. You would not.
But anyway, so then we get there. They put us in wardrobe, makeup. Like, it was really fun. What did you think of all that? Oh, they took our breakfast order. And Shanae was like, well, where's the breakfast? You want us to just go get it?
Well, we get into the building. Mm-hmm. We get into the elevator. Elevator goes straight up into the studio. So literally you take a step off of the elevator and there's wardrobe and there's hair and makeup. So we literally walked into wardrobe, walked into hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Which again, I've had my makeup like professionally done before, like for weddings and stuff. So that part wasn't like a huge deal. The wardrobe was kind of cool because they were like, let me take your picture. Is this all you have? What else do you have? What else is in there? What about this? What about that? Yeah. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. The shirt I ended up wearing wasn't mine. It was a shirt they had bought for that day for like an option for me to wear, which I thought was so thoughtful that like, they technically had never asked my size, but just like looking at my content and seeing me, they were like, I guess she could be about this size. And like, we're really like thoughtful about like that portion. To me was really cool.
Yeah. But of course I walked in wearing the perfect outfit. I didn't have to change or anything.
Makeup was perfect. Hair was perfect. Outfit was perfect.
Yeah. They powdered me a little bit when I got in there because we were sweating outside. And once we cooled down, like we were good. But like when we were in that makeup chair, that camera was like here. The makeup lady was right here. The second makeup lady was right here. And I was just like, oh no.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, at this point, we haven't seen anything. But I know I have an RBF. Like my resting face looks like I like am so annoyed. So I hope that doesn't come across.
I definitely have RBF. You can ask.
Anybody
can ask. You can ask my students. Like, there are times they'll be like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I just gotta fix my face. Let me fix my face. But like, I will say, Lisa, that day I was like,
I love that for you.
Where's the camera? Okay, you're okay. But
the friends doing our makeup had to remind me to like smile a little bit. I was like, my bad.
So we were in there. And once we got like wardrobe and makeup figured out, they literally sat us at a table. Or no, I found the table. I like turned the corner.
Shanae decided where the holding area was gonna be.
Yeah,
low key.
I turned the corner and I sat down. So because I saw the table there, it was like a dining room table and like a snack bar, like just little snacks and stuff they had out, and it said for talent. I said, well, today, Shanae, that's you. So those are your snacks. Let me sit by the snack table. And we're sitting there, and they're like, oh, can we get you anything for breakfast? I said, oh, I'm in New York. Let me get our bacon, egg, and cheese. Like, put it on our bagel. So I was like, okay, I'll just take a little sandwich. Fine, whatever. They had some fruit at the snack table, so I said, oh, I'm going to eat those blueberries and eat my sandwich and sit right here. And started talking to some of the other participants. That's when I really learned that there was only like three
stories being highlighted.
Yeah. And that's when I was like, oh, okay.
This is like a thing.
Yeah.
So there was me, a woman who had struggled with leukemia, and then another young woman who had struggled with breast cancer. And so we're all like talking a little bit, telling our stories a little bit, but also in the midst of like, getting ready and everything. And then it's time for the interviews.
Yeah. So
and
we jump to the interviews.
It's time for the interviews. And they had, originally I was supposed to go second, but I ended up going third, which I think was good because I got really emotional. I started crying. And I warned them. They were like, is there anything you need like for us to set up? Or like just to make me feel comfortable? I was like, if y'all can have some tissues nearby, because it's going to happen. Like, she's a crier. I'm going to cry. And they did that, and that was great. But what was your perspective of like getting into, we got mic'd up?
Oh, yeah. That was crazy. So we got mic'd up. Like, somebody reached in my shirt and like, taped a mic to my shirt and wrapped the wire around me and like put the little pack in my bra. I said, oh my gosh, I'm on the real world. This is crazy.
Literally. Everyone was very good about consent. You said someone reached in your shirt. So I just wanted to clarify. Everyone was like, is it okay?
But that's what the sound people do. To be fair, that's what the sound
that's their
people
jobs.
do. They're used to reaching in shirts really quickly and grabbing their
doing what
stuff
they got to
back.
do.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're mic'd. We stand up. They're like, all right, it's your turn. I'm like, toot, 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 toot. Here we go. Ha, ha, ha. Again. Ha, ha, whatever. We're just going to talk about Lisa and her journey and call it a day. So they're like, all right, come on in. So we walk in and we sit down. And again, that's also when it got really real because it was like those cameras were huge.
Yeah.
There was like rigs.
There were a lot of people, like set crew.
There was a lot of
too.
people. Also, when I always think it's real is when I see those screens.
Yeah.
That show
the monitor that have the four different
cameras.
cameras.
What the camera is seeing. I'm like, oh my God, this is a
we out
movie
here.
set. We're here. So we walk in, and that's when I knew immediately. I was like, Shanae, like just smile at these people, answer their questions, and let's go back to the beach. Like let's get it going. Let's get it popping. Like let's go. So we get in there, we sit down, the wardrobe people come over and fuss with us a little bit. They're like, okay, move closer. And then we start talking about the journey and we start talking about what happened.
The questions were so thoughtful. I was like genuinely impressed. It's like they told me they had watched my stuff to like prep for this, but like they really did. Like videos that technically had nothing to do with my breast cancer journey, they like knew about and were talking about in the questions, and I thought that was so thoughtful. And so I was so thankful for that. And we had met the executives for Mastercard and Stand Up to Cancer earlier that day.
That was really nice. They were everybody was so nice to us, but meeting them was also really, really nice. Like just for them to come through and just say, hey, just want to check on you.
And thanks for doing this. Yeah, and I was like,
you have everything you need. It was great.
Yeah, I was like literally just honored to be there and just be able to share my journey on a bigger platform. So I was just so excited. But I also, like, on a spiritual tip, I was like, Holy Spirit, guide my tongue. Because she can overshare, as y'all know, as she knows, on the internet. So let me just guide my tongue, say what I need to say, but also, like, keep me on track, like, give what they need. Cool. So they asked me about, like, what music have you, like, listened to get you through this? I know you like to sing, which, again, detail they knew. And I said, oh, yeah, like, I listen to a lot of gospel music, like Christian music. I have a playlist of it. And they're like, oh, okay, what, like, artists do you like specifically? And I was like, I like Kirk Franklin, Maverick City. Also, I really like the Jonas Brothers. I've been a fan of the Jonas Brothers since, like, I was 12. Mind you, earlier that day, Sinead was like, "You're talking about the Jonas Brothers a lot," and I was like, "Well, whatever, it's fine." But then, so it came up in the interview, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but it was like a little tidbit. Like, we didn't make it our
whole thing. Yeah, it was just like a side note of like, y'all asked me what music I like. I like the Jonas Brothers.
And when she said it, I was just like, yeah,
she does like the Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers.
And then she asked me how I celebrated my 30th birthday, like, and I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, I had friends come over, we did karaoke, and went out to dinner, and then like even my dinner, I did like a high heels red dress moment. Like, I really do like the Jonas Brothers, so I only mentioned them twice, which unfortunately I've realized in a conversation with me, that's like a moderate amount.
An average.
That's like what I do. That's fine. I love them.
The Jonas Brothers daily.
Yeah. I just love them.
In conversations daily, right?
Yeah.
So it's like not just today she mentioned it. It was in the breakfast conversation, the lunch conversation, the dinner conversation.
I don't know why I talk about them so much.
You talk about the blessed Jonas Brothers.
Big fan. Anyways, clearly. So then we finished crying. We made other people in the room cry too. I finished crying. Yeah, Sinead didn't cry. We heard a few other people in the room cry, which made me feel a little bit better because like, okay, it's also touching to other people.
That I will say when we finished the interview, right? Lisa's cried. We've had our little sister bonding moment. I've talked about how she's my little princess. And first of all, when we went to like get up to like stand up to walk, I was like, "Are we done?"
Yeah,
because like
they didn't call
cut
like
where
yet.
y'all are, and like the person interviewing us is right there. I was like, "Are we? We're good?"
Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Yeah." And so
and like
we get up.
There's like a moment where we just all like.
So we get up. I think they wanted to get us walking out and like just to have that in case they needed it.
Like Lisa and I are not the most graceful humans, right?
Yeah.
Like we get it done. Right?
Yeah.
But like sometimes I'm a little janky.
You ever think? I think of myself as like a giraffe.
Yeah.
Because we're tall, our legs are long, so it's like sometimes it takes a little bit.
There's a lot to maneuver.
Right.
That's what I'll say. There's a lot to maneuver.
So
we're like
to get up.
Okay. So we like wiggle and like get our way off of that couch and we like walked out. So when we walked out, they like called cut after we walked out. And that's when I said, oh gosh, like they're recording.
Yeah, that was on us. We didn't think about it.
So when they called cut, our PA had water for us.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very taken care of that day.
Yeah.
And our makeup artist came over and was like, "You all are the only ones that really got me." And I was like, look at us.
Yeah, she was.
So I was like, if we're getting the people in the room, then that means we're gonna get the people through the screen. So happy about that.
Shout out to the Holy Spirit because I prayed to guide both of us like through whatever they needed. So then they touch up our makeup, we eat lunch, and that they had like brought over to us. And they're like, all right, we're gonna go to the roof and get some pictures really quick. Mind you, again, heat wave. So
hot.
We go up there.
Outside.
We go up there, and me and the two other survivors are posing for pictures, and they were like, "All right, we have some people who participated earlier who are about to come out. Just hold it for a second, because mind you, we're all sweating. We're like, can we go inside a little bit? We kind of felt hot, and then I was like, I feel like somebody's gonna come out, and if I don't care about them, I'm gonna have to act like I care because I want to give these people what they need, but also like." And there was a fleeting thought that was like, what if it's the Jonas Brothers? No, it wouldn't be the Jonas Brothers. That's so silly. And then it was the Jonas Brothers.
It was the Jonas Brothers.
Tell them what you were doing while I was meeting the Jonas Brothers.
So while Lisa was meeting the Jonas Brothers, we're on a rooftop, right?
It's a beautiful rooftop.
Beautiful rooftop, literally underneath the Empire State Building. Like, it's right there. It's beautiful, right? And I am always so fascinated with cities, and especially New York, because I'm like, all these buildings on this little teeny tiny island, what is going on? Like, what are y'all doing? And I just remember one time I was on a trip to New York, and I was walking around in a museum, and I met somebody, and they were like, oh, it's just like a lot of finance and a lot of journalism. It's not super interesting or exciting. I said, okay, cool. So again, here I am on this rooftop. My back is to them taking the picture. So I'm looking around. I'm like, yeah, I wonder what's going on in all these buildings. Like, is there a salon? Is there a law firm? And then all of a sudden I just hear like squealing. And I'm like, what's going on? So I turn around and I said, oh.
And the Jonas Brothers are there.
I said, oh, that's nice.
I thought it was so funny to hear Sinead's perspective.
I said, that's nice.
Oh
and then our host, her name was Coco. Shout out Coco. She's amazing. Great. She held it down. I was like, Coco, did you know about this? Miss Coco, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yeah, I knew. I was like, oh my goodness, you guys are sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, did everybody know? She was like, we all knew. I said, you guys all knew about that. I said, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all are some sneaky sneaks. This is fun.
No, that was good.
So again, I'm just, off to the side, leaning back. I said, that's nice. Lisa's happy. That's nice. I'm so happy. This is nice. And then at one point, I guess like they needed all of us in the shot, right? Because I forget, like I'm part of the talent. And the literal Jonas Brothers are like, come over, like, come on. And like I hugged all three of them. I said, wow. And literally when I hugged them, I said, thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this. This is really great. Thank you. Like, not, it's nice to meet you. Not, oh my gosh.
You're the
Jonas Brothers. I said, thank you for doing. I literally like.
Sinead was strictly there as a +1 and being supportive, and I love that.
And sometimes that's okay, right?
That's all you need to do. Sometimes that's what people need too. I needed her that day emotionally, yes, for the beginning part, but at this point, it was also like, stay calm.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. Don't make anyone uncomfortable.
Yeah. Now, had it been like, oh my goodness, you guys are now season ticket holders for the Baltimore Ravens, I would have lost my mind.
She would have screamed.
If they would have been like, here are these Super Bowl tickets, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
If they would have said, you're going to do a Chris Brown meet and greet, I would have lost my mind. Right? Sometimes you're just the support. Sometimes you're just the lovely assistant. And that's nice. That's kind. But, that's just, my vibe is different. That's all. And
that's all right. Okay, so I want to share my perspective of what was happening. So first thing was I felt the need to share immediately that I've been a fan since I was 12. I told Joe and Kevin. Then I think, you know what it is? I think everyone's instinct was to share the last time they saw them in person. Do you know what I'm saying?
We don't have many of those.
Right, but the other people did. I'm saying all the survivors, like either felt the need to like, I feel like it was like sharing like, oh, I just saw you here. Or like, you know what I mean? Or, oh, like just a tidbit of like why this is significant. So Joe and Kevin, I was like, I've been a fan since I was 12 and I'm 30. And then Nick, I was like, I just saw you in the last 5 years. He was like, oh, did you enjoy the show? They were very polite and very nice, which was so sweet and nice to have happen. And then, yeah, at some point, I was like, you guys don't understand. Like, Celebrate has gotten me through this time. Like, it was one of my main songs through this time. Like, Through the Fire, we made it. Then Nick starts singing, Through the Fire, we made it. And I was like, look at us now. And I was like, this is happening. Like, that was surreal.
I said, oh, Lisa's singing with the Jonas Brothers.
She's so happy.
That's so nice.
Yeah. But I should also mention, Sinead does enjoy this music of the Jonas Brothers.
Fine.
It's not like she doesn't care at all.
It's nice.
And also, I've been to 5 Jonas-involved concerts. I'll say it like that. We've been to 3 Nick Jonas concerts. Because nobody would go with me. I don't have like a friend who's like also to Nick Jonas like that. So Sinead will come with me so I don't have to go alone.
Yeah.
So she's always been a supportive sister, is what you can gather from that. And then the Jonas Brothers concerts, I went one with a friend in 2019. That's the last Jonas Brothers concert I went to. And then before that, in like 10th grade, I went to the Camp Rock 2 tour. Anyways, neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is I have never met the Jonas Brothers in person, for real. Like, I saw Nick Jonas in passing the month before, which is crazy. But I'll insert that video here. Did you enjoy those 3 seconds of me meeting Nick Jonas? Anyways,
him walking past
and me just saying hi. Should I put in the selfie I took when I first? Okay,
don't put that selfie.
It's actually very funny. The woman was too stunned to speak. Anyway, so yeah, and so it was just really special. And Nick was holding a sign with my name on it. So me and Sinead took a picture with Nick by ourselves, and that was great. And that was the rooftop moment. Do you have any more thoughts about the rooftop?
They were very nice. They were very personable. Again, I was like, thanks for doing this. Nick Jonas was holding a sign with Lisa's name on it.
Crazy.
They also let us know that we'll be able to go see one of the tour dates.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we're going to go to the concert.
So we're going to go to a Jonas Brothers concert. I guess I'm going to a Jonas Brothers concert.
It'll be our first one.
It'll be my first Jonas Brothers concert. I'm very excited. What else is I
hope we get to meet them again.
Oh, and then they told us that they were going to do a performance for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we got to... So, wait. Okay, hold on. So So I was thinking little acoustic, sit in the air conditioning all together, very boho, very kumbaya, acoustic guitar, a few runs, right? Like, because they're real musicians. They play the guitar,
Say that,
tambourine, and other assorted items.
Say that, yeah.
So I said, oh, okay, we're just going to sit in a little circle. It's not going to be nothing weird. We're not going to have no seance. But it's going to be great. And then they were like, nah, we're going back to the rooftop. I said, back to the rooftop? For what?
Anyway, yes, that was the first rooftop section. And then we go back down, and that's when we found out all the hair and makeup people knew, the wardrobe people knew, and they were keeping it all day. And then we also kind of realized, oh, there are at least hundreds of people here.
I don't think it was hundreds of
people. At least
100. But you know what we did? Wait, you know what we found out, though, that I was, like, stunned about? So, again, remember, I found this cute little table next to the snacks. There was, like, a partition.
Yeah.
Like, almost like a foldable board.
Yeah.
In front of this doorway. And in my mind, I said, what's on the other side of that doorway? Because I love a self-guided tour. That's what I'll say. It's not that I'm nosy. It's not that I'm a wanderous person, but I just, I like to just guide myself through things as an independent woman. And in my mind, I said, you should go see what's over there. And I said, Shanae, that's not it. These people are being very kind. I don't want to have to pay for anything. So, yeah. Also, in that little cut, there was, like, stairs.
Yeah.
But the stairs had, like...
a door at the top, like a closed door.
It looked like a door. It was a door, right? But, like, at the time, I didn't know it was a door.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, oh, this used to be somebody's house. This is now a studio. So they just blocked off that part, right? So after we got back... that's when they told us the whole time Jonas Brothers been on the other side of that little partition. And the stairs, the little door actually opened up. And that's where more of like stuff had been going on all day. I said,
we'd only seen like a third of like what was going on.
Yeah.
And it felt, so that was crazy. So yeah, all these other people who we hadn't seen all day, we were like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. But they've been watching us all day. Also, the Jonas Brothers watched us tell our little stories.
Yes, they did.
Too, which was really crazy.
Which is why I'm glad I didn't talk about any other artists or anything else weird in that interview.
Because the Jonas Brothers were watching.
The Jonas Brothers were watching.
So then we get back down.
Imagine I had said, yeah, and I told her not to talk about them today. I'd have been mortified. I'd have been like, you guys, thanks for having me. I want to go now. I want to leave. I'd have been like, either the aliens beam me up in this moment, or I have to go.
I have to go right
now. I would not have lived that down. There's no way.
Imagine in an interview you were like, yeah, she talks about the Jonas Brothers all the time. It's very annoying. Imagine you had said that. So then we get our hair and makeup touched up again, because again, heat wave. So we get our hair and makeup touched up. And they're like, all right, Lisa, go back to like where we did the meeting, the original... interview. Yeah. So it was on a different couch in that room. And they're like, all right, Lisa, you can go sit there. And then Nick Jonas sits next to me. And I think that is when it all started to hit. That like, oh, this is happening. Like, I am really sitting next to one of the Jonas Brothers, who I've been a fan of since I was 12. And I didn't have any lines to say. Nick was talking, but he says stories like Lisa's. And he turns to me and I said, I was just smiling and nodding, but I want to know what my eyes looked like. So I can't wait for them to post that, because I feel like it was probably forming behind my eyes. Like, oh my gosh, Nick Jonas just said my name. Like, I think it was all starting to hit. And again, he was really nice, really cool. He said his lines. And then he was like, all right, crushed it. I was like, one and done. And then we're walking back. And I'm walking towards Shanae. And I'm like shaking my hands out, because again, it's starting to hit. And she was like, Lisa, sit down. And I was like, I can't. And like Nick was walking behind me. And I was like, I don't want to freak anybody out. But I think it's just like the excitement is starting to like be a thing. But we're able to keep it cool.
And then you got back and you told me what happened, because once again, I don't know if I'm just like oblivious to stuff, or if I just mind my own business so hard that I notice nothing. So we were at the hair and makeup chair, and like they were recording stuff, right? So they were like, shh, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. And I was like, I'm too much of a rule follower to get yelled at in this capacity, in this space right now. So I left Lisa with the hair and makeup girls. And I go and I sit again back at the faithful table. I'm sitting there probably playing a game. Probably answering a text message or something. And that's when Lisa comes back in and she's like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, Lisa, you need to just sit down. Like, take a deep breath. Like, calm. She was like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. And I was like,
I feel like you're being dramatic. I feel like I was not doing that much.
I'm not being dramatic. You don't understand. You don't understand. And I was like, just catch your breath for a second.
I thought I was much more calm than that. That's so embarrassing.
No, you were, but like, and then that's when I said, oh, she must have done something and shot some scene with Nick Jonas, because like literally she came, she stood at the table, she was like, oh my God, and then him and the crew, or him and like the people he was with, right, come walking right behind me. And I was like, oh.
I was like, I need a second.
Okay.
I had to disassociate from my entire body. And then, yeah. And so then
we went back up to the rooftop.
Back up to the roof in the heat. And it's a full-on music video. So that intimate performance, not a thing. It's a whole...
Yeah, it's a music video. I thought we were getting again, I was ready for just a soft sway. Right?
Yeah.
And a little, a cheeky little, hey, a little giggle. Mm-hmm. And no, it's like a rock concert. Like the band.
Yeah, the whole band.
I see the band. And they're like, the cameras on that. There are cameras. And also the crane.
Yeah.
The crane sent me also. I said, oh, snap.
That's a real thing.
This is a thing.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
Yeah.
And we did like what? Like 5 or 6?
5 or 6 takes. And at some point we started to like really get the song. So like,
because also I'm an A&R. I work for a record company.
In her head.
In my mind. And I just had to decide if the song was a hit or not first. The song is a hit.
Love that. I also love that it wasn't like a slow, sad song. It was like a upbeat, like it's out by now. I was hesitating to say it. I was like, it's called I Can't Lose. It was so fun. And like, it just talks about like, you're having a rough day, but like, I can't lose when I'm with you. And so it was really cute that they had bringing plus ones. Like, it was all just tying together really cute.
Yeah.
And I love that it was a fun song. So that's going to be added to the playlist. That'll be my favorite Jonas Brothers song for the rest of my life, probably. And short of another thing happening.
Special song. It was a really special moment.
Yeah, I don't see that ever changing. But yeah, so that was really cool. You guys should listen to I Can't Lose. When Nick comes in on the second verse, that's my favorite part. He goes, got no reason for complaining.
Oh, yeah. Nick Jonas taught them the lyrics because made
out of magic and I gotta have it.
Again, I'm just here for support. Like, you don't need to teach me.
Nick was teaching us the lyrics, and he was like, because there's like the chorus is like really fast at certain points, and he was like teaching us the lyrics. That was really fun. Joe was holding the microphone to us here and there. Like it was a good time. And then we finished, and so I forgot to mention on the first time on the rooftop, I word vomited everything to Nick Jonas about how I had tried to get a selfie with him before, but I was too shy and like the whole thing. And that was fun. He was very gracious about listening to me just yap. And so then I was like, I want to have a moment with each of them. So like I was like, okay, Joe has all these tattoos now, and I was like, I want to ask Joe what tattoo I should get next. So I was like, Joe, like what tattoo should I get next? And then it hit me that I've asked another grown person who doesn't actually know me what tattoo I should get next. And then I was like, let me just save him. So I said, I was thinking about getting a bow like right here. And he was like, oh, that sounds cool. Why not a bow? But mind you, he was about to say something when I started panicking. So then he was like, I was like, well, what were you going to say? He was like, I think like the New York City skyline, just like commemorate this day would be really cool. And I said, that's a good idea, Joe. I love New York. So I probably will end up, stay tuned. One day she'll get that.
Stay tuned. Let's see what happens.
One thing at a time. But then he was looking around and goes, oh, there you are. And he hugs Shanae and says goodbye because he wanted to make sure he said bye to her.
That did legitimately happen. He was looking for me to say goodbye. That was really kind.
And that's how you really know they watched our stuff that day. Because they knew who each of us were that day. That was really sweet. And then I didn't get to say anything to Kevin for real, because then they started filming us, me and Shanae, like getting our reactions like for social media. I don't know if that was somebody with the ad agency, someone with Mastercard. I don't know who that man was with.
An iPhone.
Yeah, but that's how they do social content, you know. So they were getting us saying stuff, and so I think they had left by the time that had started, but it was really cool. What are your last thoughts? It
was a great day. Mm-hmm. I think the part that I'm proud of the most from that day is our interview.
Me too.
I think that we were very genuine. I think we were very likable. Through this whole experience, I know we've talked about this all the time, but through this whole experience, my favorite part about this is we don't make it our identity.
Yeah.
We are very much still living our lives. We're still prepping for work and jobs and fun and play, and we're just also having to navigate another just facet of life. So that's the part that I'm the proudest of, and that's the part that I hope that also they highlight the most. Is just, these are sisters supporting each other. These are people just living life, trying to get through, trying to make it through, and I hope that comes through. We haven't seen it yet at this point.
At this point.
We'll see how it goes.
But yeah, that's actually what I wanted to spend like the second part of this talking about, because like we said, we haven't seen it yet. We don't know what they're going to highlight. I did want to give us a space to like actually talk about the things we talked about during that interview, because I think, one, it was a good interview. Two, like, I had never considered, for real, like, we've never really talked about, until me hearing you say all that stuff, what it's been like for you to navigate this from your perspective, like, I understand I'm going through it, and I knew, because of how my family is set up and how great they are, that if it's happening to me, it's happening to them. And that was honestly what I was most worried about in the beginning. I was like, I'll go through it. It's fine. It's my friends and family I'm worried about. And like, in that, I never really asked them how they were feeling or what was going on, because I knew they wouldn't want to tell me, for real. Because it's like, girl, you going through enough. But yeah, I think it's a good space for you to talk about. Even if you're not going through a diagnosis, or you're not going through anything crazy like this, like, even just helping a friend, helping a family member through a difficult time, I think is something we can talk about. So, switching gears a bit, what was your like first thought when you like heard about my diagnosis?
It was definitely surreal.
Yeah.
At first it was just very confusing, because we don't have a family history of breast cancer, and so like not any immediate family history. Our family dynamic and setup is weird, and also I haven't had a whole lot of experience with cancer up until it was this close in my face. I mean, I know people get it, but it's also one of those things that, like, you don't necessarily know how you get it, where you get it. Sometimes it's just a phenomenon, right? Like,
literally,
it is what it is. And our like family dynamic and structure, like, we don't, right? Like the dumbest things we go through are like, oh my God, you finished all the orange juice. Yeah. Oh my God, you left one Oreo in the package, right? Like it's like silly things like that. And I think also, like, I had previously had a friend whose dad, again, just randomly ended up in the hospital, randomly ended up in the nursing home, and deteriorated very quickly. So I had from that experience, I had said to mom and dad, like, hey, can y'all just make sure your will and stuff is squared away? I know my stuff is squared away just because I don't have anything.
Don't got a lot of stuff to square.
I think you're the name on all of my stuff, but like, it was, at first it was just very surreal. I remember I had to go host a trivia game that night, and I just remember I just read the questions and I kept it pushing, and I left. And it was funny because I had seen one of my students' parents out, and they were like, oh my goodness, hey, and I was like, hey, like, I did my best to like turn it on. Yeah. But like after the fact, I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I've shared on this podcast, but I'll share it again here, just a little bit of like how I found out. I found out at work, and I went through an hour of knowing before I was like, I should tell somebody. So I called my dad, and he was like, we're going to get through this. And that's when I realized, okay, wait, this isn't just me going through this. This is like other people are going to support me through this, and like we're all going to go through this. But like no one knows what the next steps are. You know what I'm saying? Like when you first find out something like this, no one's like, okay, and then this is going to happen, and this is going to, like, because the next thing could happen, and then they change their course of like how they deal with this. Like it's literally a person to person basis how you deal with a diagnosis like this. So I come home and I've been basically holding back sobbing all day. I sobbed a little bit, but I get home and immediately I drop my stuff and just start sobbing. And Shanae's like, "What's going on?" And then I say it, and then we're like, "Well," and then we all cry, and then it's like, "Well, guess we should just eat dinner." Like, that's the weirdest thing. Is just like life keeps going. And then I think at that point, not at that point, but somewhere within that week, it was just like, yeah, life keeps going. Like, we have to keep enjoying it. So this is crazy and this is frustrating and we wish this wasn't happening, but life has to keep going, which is why they asked us during the campaign, they're like, how do you stand up to cancer? And we just like, we don't make it our whole lives because life keeps going. Hopefully in the name of Jesus, life keeps going. So yeah, as best as you can.
Definitely stand up to it by not making it a thing, right? Like, it's almost like we integrated it in just as easily as like, oh, now you go to
the doctor.
Right, now you go to aerobics. Like, it's literally, it was just like one more thing. Like, things kept turning, things kept happening. I will say, I guess as a support, I'm a very action-oriented person.
Facts.
Like, oh, okay, that's happening. So what we gonna do about it, right? Like, I want to know the answer, right? Like, let's make the plan. Let's execute. Oh, the plan didn't work. What's plan B? What's plan C? What's like, I want to know what's happening. So luckily, I had, well, I guess not luckily, but circumstantially,
that's good.
I had a coworker who had really just gone through her cancer journey. And I was like, girl, what do I do? She was like, check out this person, check out this person. This was my oncologist. This was my breast surgeon. This was my plastic surgeon. This was da-da-da-da-da-da. So that led us and kickstarted us on the journey. And we love Lisa, but Lisa likes to process. And sometimes in processing,
there's not movement.
There's not movement, right? So my mom and I, again, are the action team. And so we were like, she said she's going to call on Monday. Yeah, we're going to call right now. So we called, set things up, asked questions, and we had as terrible as it is, we had a good experience with it. Everybody on Lisa's team, from the receptionist to the surgeons, have been phenomenal and have been on their A game. Yeah. Now we do a lot of praying.
Amen.
Prior to all these appointments, and I remember one time we were on our way to your breast surgeon, and I just remember saying, Lord, put everybody on their A game today. Like, you know, if there was ever a day for them to lock in, for you to clock in, doctor so-and-so, nurse so-and-so, receptionist so-and-so, RNs, if there was ever a day, Lord, tell them this is the day for them to do it. So that has worked out for us. I don't love talking about stuff like this all the time or processing it all the time, but there have been a few key players and supports on my side that have been really helpful to me. Christy has really held me down. She's our cousin.
Yeah.
And also like helping me to process, like, this is not something you can control,
which is frustrating.
And I am a controller. Like, I'm a math person, right? It's methodical. It's a system. It's steps to a solution. And when there are no steps to the solution, or when you're taking the steps and the solution doesn't solution, I'm like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So having her process with me, like, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And it is okay. You can't wave a magic wand, and it is okay. It's going to work out. We're just going to do what we need to do and keep it pushing has been a big deal too.
Yeah.
There was something else I was going to say.
Well, I'll chime in really quick. I would say you and mom being more like, okay, what are we going to do about it, was so helpful. Because, like, what she's not saying is I initially had an appointment scheduled for like a month out. That would have just been step one. A month out for my diagnosis. And they were like, that's not going to work for us.
And not that there's anything wrong with how that was going to play out, because sometimes people's situations are their situations, but like it was at like I'm
clinic.
I'm
it was like at a clinic.
I'm trying to think about how to say this without sounding
Uppity.
Not uppity, but degrading to anybody. But it was that just like it was like we called the insurance she had at the time. They said, okay, make an appointment here. And she made the appointment, right? But yeah, it was like a month out. And
it felt very generic and not personal.
It didn't feel right. So like I said, when we called the people we ended up actually going with, they were the ones who were like, well, has she gotten this done? Has she gotten this done? The doctor's not going to see her till she's gotten this, and this done. And like, God forbid, right? Like we had waited.
Yeah.
And then got to that appointment and they were like, oh, well,
actually, you need
she's going to need this and this done. Right. Yeah. Or, and God forbid they hadn't even told us that all of the things that they needed to know. And like those biopsies and things took weeks to get appointments for, like a very long time, and like to figure out what was going on. But like, God forbid, right? Like we had let things linger, and again, nothing wrong with that. This is not shit. You do what you got to do.
Right.
But it just wasn't going to work for us.
Yeah.
So we,
and also like,
avenue.
I didn't realize how long it was going to take to get a treatment plan. I got diagnosed the end of September. We didn't get a treatment plan until like end of November, December.
End of November.
Yeah. And it was just like,
maybe the week before Thanksgiving. No, it was definitely November.
It was end of November because I didn't share. I didn't want to share online until I had a treatment plan, and I didn't share online until the beginning of December.
Yeah, it must have been after Thanksgiving.
It was after. But it was just like the concept of like, I thought when you get told you have cancer, they're like, here's your cancer, and this is the stage it's in. That's literally not what happened. And that, I don't know if it happens that way for other people. That is not what happened for me. And it was stressful. A very stressful month and a half. During that month and a half, though, we kept to the point we were saying earlier, we just kept living life. Like, one of the first things I did was, like, I knew, again, Shanae not being a sharer and not wanting to share my business. I called her friends, and I texted her friends. I was like, hey, this is happening. Please support my sister. And they were so sweet. They were like, we'll support her. But, like, are you okay? And I was like, good question. Because at that point, I hadn't thought about it yet. If I was okay. I was more so worried about other people. But then I think once I was done worrying about other people, those other people also gave me the freedom to worry about myself and process for myself, which was a blessing. But, yeah, I think we continued. We hosted a football watch party. We went to concerts. Like, we continued living. And I think that was really, and like, she was there for me through that. I think that was really helpful. So here we are now. I'm cancer free, praise God. Became cancer. Oh, we should talk about the surgery, the double mastectomy day. Yeah. That was crazy. So
I forgot the day.
It was terrible. I will say it was a terrible day. I hate that day. January 6th, 2025 is going to be like one of my least favorite days, but favorite days at the same time. It's the day I became cancer free, which is great. However, it was just a lot going on. It was the day of my double mastectomy. The night before I had a prayer call. So a bunch of people of faith that I admire and appreciate on a prayer call praying for me. I'm crying. It's great. We leave that prayer call and we go to a hotel that's near the hospital because
why did we go? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Because it's fine. Because we were in a snowstorm. It hadn't started. They were
calling for snow.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Is your surgery going to be canceled?" They hadn't canceled it, so we were gonna go. Because the words of what was it? The Office says the reverse cycling ends tonight. Yeah, like this has to end tonight.
We had that prayer call, dry as a bone outside. It was cold, but not a single lick of precipitation had fallen yet, and so that's when we decided, because we knew it was going to heavily snow the next day / morning. That's when we decided, all right, we're going to get a hotel room closer to the hospital. So we get these hotel rooms. We get to the hotel, check in, blah, 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 blah. It's time to get up. Because surgery was at, like, what, 6 a.m.?
6 a.m. I had to be at the hospital.
6 a.m. we had to be at the hospital.
6:30, something like that.
Okay. But early, we had to be at the hospital.
Yeah.
And so both my parents are in the adjoining room to us. And so the alarm goes off. We're getting up. I throw my stuff in the bag. Lisa's sitting on the bed. And, people are just people, right? But, like, at some point it hit me. And I was like,
everybody get up.
Everybody get up now.
We're leaving right now.
We
have to go.
We're leaving now. This ends today. I literally remember thinking that in my mind is like, I'm looking at my little sister sitting there on the bed with cancer in her body.
You just gotta go.
This ends today. I'm done with. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this. Mm-hmm. I'm not lingering. I'm not waffling. Get up. Get in the car. Mm-hmm. I'm taking you to this hospital now. So the hospital is only like 5 or 10 minutes from the hotel we were staying in. So at that point, I was like, everybody get in the car. Let's go. The streets are covered with snow. I don't even think the plows are out. I think the plows are literally like lined up on the side of the road. They're like behind us, waiting for a good stopping point. But we get in there, we get to the hospital. I drop off Lisa and Mom in the front. And the parking garage is literally like not even across, it's like across the walkway, right? Like it's right next to it. It must have been 5 a.m., 5:30 when we got there.
It was dumb. It was dark really outside early.
Still. So I park the car. We find Dad and Lisa.
Mom and Lisa.
Me and Dad find Mom and Lisa. And then the whole shebang gets started.
What were you doing? So mind you, I did a 12-hour shift at the hospital that day. I went in, it was dark. I came out, it was dark. I never saw daylight that day. And she was under. Actually, that surgery was scheduled for 7 hours. That is 7-hour surgery.
Was it scheduled for 7 hours? Oh. See, I thought the surgery was supposed to be 4 hours. Nah. Because I think the hospital we were at has a really nice, like...
Was it 4? Sorry, go ahead.
All I know is that the hospital we're at has a really nice update system, right? So you get your patient's like number, and there's literally like a screen where they tell you still in surgery, coming out of surgery, prepped for surgery. Like it's like being at MVA or being at like a train. Like it's really nice, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever. So at 8, I feel like your thing said it was like 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. and it said like I think that's when like Mom came back.
That makes sense.
And so at like noon, 1 o'clock, I was like,
what's going on?
Don't make me come back there. Like, I'll sew her back up myself. So I said, all right, Shanae, just wait. Time's going on. I don't think you got out of surgery until like, 2-3 o'clock. 6-7 hours sounds right. I genuinely thought it was only going to be 4. Mm-hmm. But like 6-7 hours.
Also to clarify, it's like 2 surgeries at once the way I did it.
Yeah.
So it's the double mastectomy of removing all the breast tissue, that my breast surgeon did, and then the plastic surgeon came in and put temporary spacers in. So it's like 2 surgeries at one time. Like 2 surgeons are needed.
Yeah.
Thank God for insurance. Imagine all that money.
That's another thing that hit me too about this process is like, y'all better make sure y'all have health insurance.
Please.
And y'all better make sure it's tight and right. Like, do what you gotta do.
I don't even love what I've had to pay.
Right.
So please.
But like, I can't imagine like you don't have health insurance. So like, what happened?
I don't know how you would get through
what
this.
What happened?
So because I saw the price. You know the explanation of benefits. Hundreds of thousands.
Even the deductible, I was like.
The deductible was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Get your stuff right now.
Get yourself together.
But anyways,
not having non-insurance is not a flex.
It's not.
Not having
health insurance, yeah,
is not a flex.
Yeah. That's interesting. I've never heard your perspective of that day. In terms of like while I was, incapacitated, like unconscious. I don't remember
like I did anything significant. Me and Dad took a trip up to the cafeteria. I came back down. Me and Mom took a trip up to the cafeteria, came back down. We must have eaten 2 meals at the hospital. And then that's what I remember.
Yeah. I remember getting in the car because that whole time, literally when I woke up, I was like, I want to go home. Mom said, they weren't going to record me after. I kind of wanted to, but I was like, this is a very serious situation. My family's not going to be into the whole, let's record it and see what, social media. So I woke up and Mom was the first one to see me. And I said, I'm Superwoman. I want to go home. Which facts. I wanted to go home so badly because I don't really love a hotel. It's not like we stayed in a 5-star hotel. It was like one of those chain hotels.
It was a fine hotel. Yeah.
It was fine, but the bed was hard. I was like, I didn't like not being in my own bed the previous night. I didn't like being in a hospital. Anytime I go to a hospital, I immediately want to go home, which like, I guess, but like, I did not want to be there anymore. And then when we got out the car, I realized I have not seen sunlight today. I like just immediately started sobbing. I can't move for real. My body hurts. Like, it was bad. I hated everything that happened. But then I realized, she's cancer free. So thank God it all had to happen. But
when it was getting towards like the evening,
mm-hmm.
because we didn't leave the hospital till like 6 or 7 p.m. I remember hearing them talk about like, oh, who are we moving upstairs? Oh yeah, because I had gone back to see you when you were coming out of anesthesia. But they were like, oh, who are we moving upstairs? I think we're running out of spaces. I said, I know someone who's not going upstairs.
This young lady in this bed right here is going home tonight.
I know someone who is not going up. So I'd tell you for free who's not going up there.
And that was also because of the snowstorm. Because some people were like, well, I can't get home.
Because it was about to start snowing. Because it had snowed, like I said, that evening into the morning. It chilled out a little bit during the day, but it was about to ramp back up.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were trying to figure out who was going to stay. And I just remember being like, wrap her up. Like, we got to go. So I went to the parking garage to get the car. So I go and get the car, and I don't have a ticket. Because when we came in, the gates were up. Like, that's how early we got there. So I'm like, the little bar is down. I'm like, what am I gonna, like, what the heck? So I like press the button, and I'm like, and the security man's like, how can I help you? I said, hey, I got here before
y'all got here.
The tickets. And he just lifted the thing up, and I got out. And I remember,
so you didn't have to pay for parking?
Absolutely not.
That's nice.
I'm a hustler, baby.
Just want you to know.
Anyway, so I remember I pulled up into the front of the hospital, and they were trying to get you. They were wheeling you out. We're trying to get you in the car. And I remember you got in the car, and that's when you just started like to cry. And I started to cry too. I was like, we're going home.
Yeah, we need to go.
We're going home. I want to go home now. So, and again, starting to snow again. So I pack up my sister, I pack up my parents, and we get back on 495 to get back to the house. And in the name of Jesus, we made it safely to the house. We got Lisa inside. She hadn't eaten all day.
Literally.
Made her a sandwich. Her pee was blue.
Yeah, because they put something in, like they warned me that was going to happen. It was like bright blue. That was crazy.
I said, it's blue.
Also, I was nauseous because, anesthesia and everything. So I had to be helped to the bathroom. So Shanae stood in the bathroom with me.
So I was in the bathroom. We fed her some food. That came back up.
Hated that.
So also moral of the story, like, listen, if someone's coming out of anesthesia, just get them a protein shake.
All right, but you will be hungry because you've been in anesthesia.
Just get them a protein shake and some water. You can eat the next day.
The second time I was under anesthesia, I did not want to throw up again, though, so I did take it easy.
Either way, just take it easy. 7 hours of being under is a lot. So came back into the house, got Lisa upstairs because we had to get her situated too because she has to sleep different. Haven't slept differently than that the whole time. But another thing about Shanae, so obviously you hear how supportive she was the whole time, but also into the day of. And then she ended up, because of the snow and everything, she ended up being able to stay with us for the week, which was really helpful. To the point where when she left, me and my mom were like, when am I supposed to take these medicines? Like, she was like, I had a system. Y'all got to lock back in. But yeah, so yeah, what advice would you give to somebody who's supporting someone through a cancer diagnosis, through a health diagnosis, or any major challenge in their life? This is gonna sound bad, but it's fine. It's okay. Make sure you take care of you, because I will say, love you. But one thing I have definitely also very much learned through this process is, like, number one, you gotta live your life. Like, you better start living. Like, go do that thing, go try that thing, go to that place. Like, we need to live while we are here, because we didn't know, like,
we had no idea.
not that we didn't have faith in anybody, not that it was a
Right.
terrible diagnosis, but like
You
things
didn't know.
happen, right?
Yeah.
Like stuff happens. So like on a personal tip, right? Like I've very much taken my health very, very, very seriously. I've made a lot of shifts and a lot of adjustments for my own being. I'm trying new stuff. I am a very career-oriented person. I love teaching. I love my job. But there's more to life.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more to life than just the next promotion, the next strategy, the next school, right? Like the next school year. So I'm just trying my best to make sure I'm not centering myself around just one thing and just making me the center of who I am and what I'm doing. And that's my best advice that I could give is don't watch somebody go through something and then keep living your mediocre life or not live your life. You gotta like use what you see as a lesson for how you want your life to be because it's your story and you only get one shot. So do you.
History has its eyes on you.
Oh gosh.
That was a good answer, Shanae.
Thank you.
Yeah. I agree. Even as the person going through the thing, I feel like I'm still going through it because we still have surgeries. But I know once all these surgeries are done, I cannot, and even in the midst of it, I cannot live my life the same way I was living it. Like, so what does that look like? I'm not sure. I'm still figuring that out. That's the point of life, isn't it? Taking it step by step and figuring it out. But it's just like the amount of thankfulness I have and just like, yo, I'm here is like crazy. And even like the day we went to the Mastercard campaign, hearing the stories of those other ladies, those other survivors, they're just different. And they both had to go through like a chemo radiation kind of thing, and I didn't. And hearing the effects it's having on their lives after is crazy to hear. So it's just like, I never take for granted where I am. And even though it's been annoying and it's been hard, like somebody has it harder, you know? So how can you live your life to the fullest and be there for people, show up for people, love on people, even though you've had it hard, but there are people who've had it harder.
And even so, not that we never would have done the Mastercard campaign, but like that opportunity wouldn't have
very
presented
unique
itself.
Yeah.
And just the, ball out energy is like, yeah, we're going. Like, get in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know where this person is taking it. Let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just try. Like, don't you want to know what's going to happen? Like, I listened to a podcast and, like, that's what the guest was talking about it. She was like, don't you want to know what happens? Like, if you try it, if you do it, if you really commit to the thing, if you really lean in, if you give it your all, don't you want to know what happens? Like, it's like reading a good book. It's like watching a movie. I want to know what's going to happen.
Was that Woman Evolved?
It was.
The Woman Evolved podcast, the episode with Kobe Campbell.
That's that lady's name.
Because I just read her book, Why Am I Like This? 10 out of 10 recommend.
When she said that, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm God's favorite. There's no way this is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
And even when it is going wrong,
it's still going right because God has a plan.
It's still going right. And that just means I've got to work harder because this is definitely the purpose I'm supposed to be in because the devil's trying even harder to turn me away.
My God, on today. Preach the sermon.
He's trying even hard. But he can't win. He can't have my sister. He can't have my family. He can't have my career. You can't have it. So I'm going to do what I need to do.
Period.
And I'm going to stick beside him.
I know that's right. Love that.
Anyway.
But yeah. So
that's what I couldn't say at the Mastercard campaign.
Yeah,
because when we were at the Mastercard campaign, I was like, we just try. Faith is so important.
Yeah, you did.
We try to find gratitude. But what I didn't say is the devil tried it. The devil tries.
I think we did a really good job of saying, you know how like someone's talking about God, but they don't say God. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you watch like a Christian on like a secular platform, you're like, they talking about their journey with Jesus. We did that, and I think in a good way that's like palatable to everybody, but also like if you know, you know.
If you know, then you pick up what we were putting down. All right now.
Well, thank you for being here today, Nene.
Thanks for having me.
Maybe this won't be. Would you want to come back?
I would love to come back on the Purpose Looks Good podcast.
She doesn't like to share, so I don't want to make her. That's why she's never been here before.
No, I would come back.
Let me tell you. The reason I never asked you before is because I don't want to make you share anything, but also didn't know if you'd be into it. But we're on a national campaign now.
It is what it is.
So here we are.
We're here.
Oh, Shanae's gonna get to go do the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have Shanae back to talk about her experience with that. Mastercard invited us to the All-Star game. I have a surgery right before it, so I won't be able to go. But Shanae's gonna go, and she's gonna take a friend. And so
some fine young man.
I hope but also Shanae loves sports, so this is her.
I love sports.
This is her Jonas Brothers version moment
that
of this experience.
Remember we did Purple Night Out?
Yeah.
And you were like, "This is your Disney World."
Sports is Shanae's thing. Shanae loves a sport. So I hope she has the best time, and we'll maybe come back and talk about that. That'd be fun.
Sounds good.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, wait. I should tell them how to follow. Do you want anyone to follow you? No.
Not right now. We'll just leave it.
Cool.
Leave it on mystery.
Well, you can follow me at Lisa K. Satchel.
And I'll be on there, so it's like you're following me, too.
Yeah, Shanae's a part of the Lisa K. Satchel universe, if you will.
Definitely.
So you follow Lisa K. Satchel on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, wherever you want to. And then Purpose Looks Good. We have Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. So at Purpose Looks Good. And yeah, keep tapped in with us on Purpose Looks Good. We share things about navigating faith as a woman of God, person of God. And my page, I just share a bunch of stuff. You never know what you're going to get. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.